Life for All presents Daily Food Series, The Gospel of John, Word, Life, and Edification, Part 2. Title of Book 6, Resurrection, A New Day, A New Beginning, by Pedro. Week 1. Jesus is unjustly arrested and judged. Monday. Introduced in glory. Read with prayer. Strengthen with all might, according to his glorious power, for all patience and long-suffering with joy. Colossians chapter 1, verse 11. This week's message, Jesus is unjustly arrested and judged, is based on chapter 18 of the Gospel of John. It describes this sad moment in history when Jesus was unjustly arrested and judged. Before entering chapter 18, we draw the brothers and sisters' attention to chapter 17, where we see how God uses his word. Now, they have known that all things which you have given me are from you, for I have given to them the words which you have given me, and they have received them, and have known surely that I came forth from you, and that they have believed you sent me. Verses 7 and 8. The Lord leaves us here with a wonderful and fundamental principle. The strength and authority of the sent one of God are in the origin of the Word. If the sent one speaks his own words, does his own work, or acts according to his own will, he will not have the strength and power of God to carry out anything. The sent one of God does not speak his own words, nor does he present his own things, for he knows that everything that comes from man does not carry out the work of God. 2 Corinthians precisely records this principle. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think of anything as being from ourselves, but our sufficiency is from God. Chapter 3, verse 5. No work of God originates from man, but comes from the Lord himself. This principle should always be applied in our daily lives. When preaching the gospel on the street, using the words the Lord gave us, we realize that they come out with power and carry out God's work. If the words in the immersion pamphlet work on the streets with a stranger, will they not also work in our relationships with family members, brothers and sisters, or anyone else? It will definitely work. Therefore, let us use more of what we receive from God, his word. Thus, we will have the authority to enjoy its power. In the 4th chapter of Matthew, we read the Lord's clear warning about the power of his word. But he answered and said, "It is written, men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." Matthew chapter 4, verse 4. Normally, we live worrying about our work, our livelihood, and securing the future. And we say we don't have time because we're always swamped. However, we must be aware that man does not live by bread alone, because man indeed has other needs, both in the soul and the spiritual life. Therefore, we must not live only by daily bread, but we must seek the word of the Lord, the word that comes from the mouth of God. The word mentioned in this verse from Matthew in Greek is rhema, referring to the instantaneous word, the one with which God wants to supply us at every moment. When we use the daily immersion pamphlet of the prophetic word, God supplies us and we begin to live by it. This word gives us power, life, and God's love, so our souls and spirit are supplied. God is truly working in us because he wants to lead us to glory. In Colossians, we read that glory not only has power but also might. Chapter 1, verse 11. This force performs the work in us. Therefore, glory is not merely a decorative or brilliant splendor, but has a force that works to introduce man into the glory of God. God called us into His kingdom and glory. That is, we are predestined for God's glory. How can God glorify man and bring him into His glory, since only the most intimate can enjoy this honor? There is a process for this, which begins when the Word starts to operate in us. It is not just any word, but the one that comes from the mouth of God, the prophetic word. Write the sentence that touched your heart the most. Highlight the key points in this sentence. Pray according to the content highlighted above.